Hey, what's up everyone? We're back for part 2 in the State of the Game series. If for some reason you haven't seen part 1 yet, that's okay, as both of these State of the Game videos have been made in such a way that they can both be meaningful without the other. But nevertheless, I do encourage you to check out part 1 as it covers characters, items, and the meta in Zuba. I do want to address the concern some of you guys had that I'm level 16, and as such my feedback is skewed towards the top 1% of the player base, but rest assured that this is not the case. I am part of many Zuba communities with players of all sorts of levels, and the feedback in both parts 1 and 2, and all feedback I give in general these days represents all players. There are even completely free-to-play players in my clan, the dojo, who are highly skilled and have accomplished so much in Zuba. I was very surprised by the overwhelming support and agreement for much of what was said in part 1, and it's really awesome to see the community coming together to push for these positive changes. I've also gotten many messages wondering if there was any official response to part 1 from Wildlife, and I'm super excited to let you all know that I had a call with them the other day, and I'll be working closely with Wildlife going forward to help keep the game on the right path as a community representative. But don't be confused, I'm still just a player like you guys. I'm not working for them. I'm still just doing this on my own time because I'm so passionate about the game. Wildlife is not as big of a studio as some other game makers, but they're going to make an honest effort to try and answer our concerns and make improvements, and while I cannot share any details publicly as I'm now under an NDA of sorts, trust me when I say it sounded like many good things are coming this year for the game. In this video, we will go over the following. First, we'll discuss the two major topics of interest as voted for by the community, events leaderboards, and the recent change to the prestige system that reverted saving your highest achieved portrait and character base. Second, we'll go over all of the best suggestions the community has compiled and discuss the details of each one. And finally, we'll go over the most frustrating bugs that currently exist in the game and try and bring attention to the developers so that they can get them fixed. The first major topic of interest is the change to the prestige system that occurred with the version 1.25 update. Prior to this update, profile portraits and character bases saved in that the highest tier of Grandmaster you ever reached for a character would be reflective in your profile and your character's base. This change to the prestige system was reverted, and now it feels like there is no longer anything to work towards. There are a few pros and many cons to this change, and we're going to go over both. First, the pros of this change. There aren't any. On a serious note though, I spent a long while thinking about what the pros for this change were, and I seriously could not think of a single one. Now for the cons of this change, first, players feel like any Grandmaster achievements they make are pointless because everything just resets every 2 weeks. Second, players work hard all season long to achieve a higher tier of Grandmaster on a character and then have nothing to show for it. And finally, now since high tier Grandmaster ranks are meaningless, players are actually losing trophies purposefully to have more fun and easily farm events so they don't have to deal with high Grandmaster burdens. I'm even guilty of this myself. This change is actually making the quality of matches worse when I'm pretty sure that the entire goal of the prestige system was to improve the quality of matches, especially for those who are more casual or lower level. In the patch notes for version 1.25, the official stated reasoning behind this change to the prestige system was, word for word, we realized that this was causing a lot of confusion and players would assume it was a bug. So from now on, the portrait and base displayed will reflect players' current Grandmaster tier. We will revisit this topic in the future. Well, let's revisit it now because it's caused an immense amount of outrage within the community. You realize this was causing a lot of confusion and players would assume it was a bug? That's your reasoning for reverting this change? First of all, how did you come to this realization? Did you ask the community if they were confused? Because I can't recall anything like that. Players would assume it was a bug? Who assumed it was a bug? I knew it wasn't a bug. My thousands of viewers knew it wasn't a bug. You literally featured my video that explains the prestige system in the game, and I was extremely clear and concise that portraits and bases saving was intended. But all of this shouldn't even matter because of the cons to this change that we just discussed. Now everyone has nothing to show for their efforts each season and many players are playing less. If the real reason for this change was that you had a concern that players would stop playing once achieving a high Grandmaster tier on their favorite characters because they'd keep the portrait and base permanently, I can tell you up front that this is false. In fact, people have stated that they would actually play more because of their achievement of reaching their goals as they'd have something to show for it and be proud about. I'm begging you, and the community is begging you, Wildlife, please bring back portrait and base saving immediately. That concludes discussion on the first major topic of interest. The second major topic of interest is events and events leaderboards. From what I've been told from Wildlife, events leaderboards are not really on the radar currently, and I think this is a big mistake. Since events were first introduced, on the test servers even, we've been asking for events leaderboards. You finally answered our requests to bring leaderboards to events, but not at all in the ways that were desired. We want to see live leaderboards for each event. In fact, I took a straw poll on this matter from users in all sorts of Discord communities, from members of my clan, and even shared the poll with the Zuba Facebook group. The results were overwhelmingly in favor of having leaderboards during events. Now let's discuss the pros and cons of this and address the concerns of both sides. For the pros, first, players would be able to see how close they are to top 10% or top 5% and make sure they achieve it instead of having to guess and having to under or overplay an event for no reason. This even applies to top 3. I have seen so many disappointed players time and time again express how frustrating it is that they devoted an incredible amount of time to an event to try and place top 3 only to end up finishing 4th or 5th or worse. Second, live events leaderboards would promote more healthy competition. And finally, it would even increase your bottom line Wildlife. In silver events, for example, players are extremely hesitant to buy tons of legendary crates because they don't know how many are needed to achieve their desired rank, whether it be a top 3 spot or top 5 or 10% spot. With live leaderboards, players would know exactly how many gems they need to spend to achieve first place in silver events, and it would even induce more buying between top competitors. Now for the cons. There's actually only one con, and it's the reason events rankings are only shown after the event currently, and that con is that Wildlife feels players would be discouraged from participating in events if leaderboards showed scores live. This is not really a con, and let me explain why. Players are actually discouraged from participating in events because they don't know where they stand. You grind so hard for a top 3 spot or top 5 or 10% spot, and when you come up short, it's extremely frustrating and discouraging to participate in events in the future. Here are the results of the poll as of April 26th. There is IP duplication checking enabled on this poll, so each vote is a single unique player. These results are not manipulated, and I'll even put a link to this poll in the description below for even more people to vote on. 97% currently desire live event leaderboards that show players' scores and rankings during events. 97%. This shows that an overwhelming majority of players want live leaderboards during events. Please make it happen. The second part of the events topic that we're going to discuss is the extreme imbalance in the top 3 rewards in events, specifically the 2-day and 7-day events. Here is a screenshot of the typical rewards for the top 3 in a 2-day event. We're only concerned about the tickets and muscle item rewards here. Take notice that first place receives 100,000 tickets and 3 muscle items. Now here's a screenshot of the typical rewards for the top 3 in a 7-day event. First place receives 100,000 tickets and 4 muscle items. How does this make any sense at all? How does it make any sense that you can grind for just 2 days and get nearly the same rewards as someone who spent 7 days grinding? The second imbalance is in 2-day and 7-day events, top 3 and top 5% rewards. Take a look at the rewards for this 2-day event. You'll notice right away the major issues with this reward structure. Now, disregarding the fact that the guard's badge item is a joke, the point is the fact that this reward structure exists could mean that the reward for third was a muscles item. Why would anyone want a new character over the most coveted reward from events, which is events only items? Why do ranks 1 and 2 not get an events item, but rank 3 does? And furthermore, the reward for finishing top 5% in this 2-day event is actually pretty much the same as the reward for finishing rank 2. Again, how does this make any sense? It doesn't. Okay, one more and then we'll move on. It was actually last week's 7-day event. The top 5% reward is better than rank 3's reward and pretty comparable to rank 2's reward. Rank 1 doesn't even get muscles, which again is the most sought after event reward, so an argument could be made that the top 5% reward for this event was actually the best possible, which is just silly. These reward imbalances need to be addressed sooner rather than later. That concludes the first part of this video. Now let's go over all of the best suggestions the community has compiled and discuss the details of each one. This list of suggestions will also be in the description below should you wish to review it yourself. First, we have suggestions to improve the social features of Zuba. For clan, just going down the list, officer only chat for clan leader and officers, announcements tab that only the clan leader can write in, Increase the maximum settable trophy requirement to apply to a clan up from 15,000 because more characters are released now, people reaching as high as 30,000 trophies, and the 15,000 requirement is just not big enough anymore. Clan Wars, separate lobby which creates a party of 10 people. Anyone in the clan can create the party, and multiple parties can exist for the same clan. You can create a lobby with your party or join another clan war lobby. So it's an open lobby system and you choose who you want to clan war, or they choose you if you have a lobby. All 20 players must ready up to start the game. 10v10, the same map that currently exists and the same guards. Elimination format, so players cannot be revived. And then clan rankings for winning and losing. Implement a do not disturb option that prevents friends and clan members from inviting you. Players should be able to apply to clans even if they are full, so the leader may decide to kick someone or not for the person who applied. There should be an option to turn applications to your clan off completely. Why is transferring clan ownership full of extra unnecessary steps? Why do you have to demote all officers except the one you wish to make clan leader and then leave the clan to transfer ownership? Why isn't there a way to just transfer ownership to the player you want in one easy step? New stickers from version 1.20 are not available in clan chat and many players want them to be added. And stickers from legendary skins are also not available for use in clan chat and many players want them to be added. A system to private message friends in-game directly, a way to send a friend request to someone when viewing their profile, a gifting system for gems and crates to clan members and players on your friends list, implement and add a name change item in the shop to save the process of having to go through support to get it changed. This would reduce ticket volume for player support as well and even increase revenue as many players are not even aware that they can pay a small amount of gems to change their name. For the game, the top suggestions were new map and game modes, map changes every season or two like Fortnite to keep things fresh. After so many matches, nothing on the map is surprising anymore, and this could be changed by making slight changes to the map each season. Trios have been coming soon since May 2019. Suggestion for trios would be 10 teams of 3 players each, 23 guards, and 2 legendary guards. You would probably need a bigger map. Since the introduction of the prestige system, shouldn't bots also be assigned a prestige level? It's currently extremely frustrating to have immense Grandmaster burden against level 15 bots that have no Grandmaster burden, and also have an aimbot and see you through walls. Have some time before the game starts to choose where to start. Sometimes you'll be backfilled into a game and take the place of a bot, so you're thrown into a match at a disadvantage because you have no time to see where players started. You have no idea where any guards are, and other players have already picked up weapons and begun killing guards and each other. This needs to be addressed. Have a waypoint show when you move pre-match so your teammate sees where your end location is. Be able to see pings from your teammate when you're out of range. Kill credit for last hit when people die to the fire. Separate guard kills from player kills as a number during the match. Show your teammates' total kills next to yours in non-solo game modes. Show your team's total kills in non-solo game modes. Show your total kills in duos on the win screen after winning a game. Currently, this only occurs on the solo win screen. Wake Up Coffee should have a visual timer displayed so you know how much time you have left on it. There should be a timer visible each match for the total amount of elapsed time during the match. An option to mute emotes from other players during the battle, as it can be annoying when people are constantly spamming them. On to character suggestions. There was only one, and it is when Joey is killed, he should disappear immediately rather than continue blocking attacks as he runs back to Molly. All that's been done so far is Joey's health bar being removed when he gets shot. In that update, it was mentioned that Joey would disappear entirely when getting shot in a future update. Well, it's been months now, and all I have to ask is, when is that change actually coming? The last few suggestions are miscellaneous. Add more stats to player profiles such as total deaths, a kill-death ratio, total matches played, and a win-loss ratio. Show your current win streak, if any, in the menu. There needs to be an option to skip the tutorial. Save past season profile results in the form of a drop-down menu with a number for each season, similar to how Blizzard's Overwatch does it. Matchmaking, this is a tricky subject, but longer queue times at the highest level of trophies for higher quality matches would be nice. Players are clan hopping at an extreme level in events that award points for speeding up and getting help with crates. Make it so reinstalling the game does not allow you to apply to all clans again. Limit the number of points you can receive from an event for crate helps and speed ups to prevent this abuse. That's all for suggestions. Again, this list of suggestions were the top suggestions from the community and players I've talked with. If you have any suggestions yourself that weren't listed here, feel free to leave a comment below or message me on Discord. Moving on finally to bugs now. Some bugs have existed for over half a year and haven't been fixed yet. It feels like bugs just keep piling up. Events and increased character mastery rewards were a good step in the right direction to answer the free-to-play player dilemma. However, Wildlife, you're not going to be hurt financially by devoting a little bit of time to the most frustrating bugs or implementing some of the quality of life suggestions we want. What will hurt you is if you keep letting these bugs pile up and just keep releasing new characters and skins instead. So here are the top 10 most persistent and frustrating bugs that we want fixed. First, the most frustrating and annoying bug that needs to be fixed is sometimes a game server will crash and kick everyone out, resulting in a something went wrong error when trying to reload the game. This error persists for sometimes up to 15 minutes and is extremely annoying because you can't do anything about it. It is understandable that a game server will occasionally crash, however, it is not understandable why we cannot get back into the game immediately. This bug has been around since 2019 and it has been reported thousands of times, yet it still hasn't been fixed. Please place priority on fixing it as soon as possible. The second bug is the legendary focus bow bug. This bug has also been around for months and months. This bug clips the top part of the screen when aiming with a character who has a legendary focus bow as well as a level 8 nitro bow item equipped. This is another very annoying bug that needs to be fixed. The third bug is the wooden barricade bug. This bug allows you to shoot projectiles through wooden barricades. This bug has existed for months as well. It's probably a hitbox issue and therefore it should be an easy fix. The fourth bug is a relatively new one. Sometimes when your partner switches to a different character in the menu, your screen will lock up and prevent you from doing anything until you restart the game. I don't have footage of this bug, but it is not hard to recreate. I'm not sure exactly why it occurs, but I think it usually happens after playing a few games with someone when you ready up and when they switch characters. The fifth bug is also relatively new. Health kits used to register instantly when pressed. Now, there's sometimes a short delay for some reason, and it's extremely frustrating as sometimes health kits won't go off at all, and other times you'll end up consuming both of them because of the delay. Please remove any delay when attempting to manually tap health kits. The sixth bug is that Lizzie will make Larry sounds when using shield items. The seventh bug is when a Duke bot uses his roar, the animation is almost never reflective of where he's actually roaring. The eighth bug is that sometimes jungle shoes will proc if you use the edge of a bush, but the speed boost won't be applied. The ninth bug is that sometimes Shelly can still be damaged despite being in her shell during her active. Unfortunately, I don't have footage for this bug either, but it happened to me mostly when I would use Shelly's active ability right at the end of a Duke's roar animation and would still suffer from the stun and take damage despite Shelly being in her shell with her active being used on my screen. If I had to guess, this bug probably has to do with lag and a disagreement between clients. On their screen, you're not in your shell, but on yours you are. And the final bug to finish out the list of the top 10 most annoying bugs that we want to see fixed is this one. Characters can pop up on these invisible ledges and use their weapons and abilities or even re-trigger Snorkel. Also, while we're on the topic of Snorkel, I want to reiterate what was said in part 1 about the item, and that is, it is in dire need of an adjustment. The internal cooldown for Snorkel needs to be increased from 1 second to 2 or 3 seconds to stop players from abusing it in the ways they are. Some other bugs that aren't as annoying or prominent in no particular order. Pepper's active sometimes cannot be cancelled. The silver item reward from character mastery at 1100 trophies does not award defibrillator or clown nose items. They need to be added to the list. If Steve has Jungle Shoes equipped and leaves a bush during his active ability, the speed boost from Jungle Shoes does not apply to him, and it should be applying. Sometimes using certain characters' active abilities when entering water disables them from being used for the rest of the match. And finally, sometimes when your partner picks up an item in duos, you won't receive it as well despite being in range. Just like the suggestions, all of these bugs are listed and described in the description below. That's going to conclude part 2 of 2 for the State of the Game series. I'm really excited for the future of Zuba, and I'm so glad that we as a community are being heard. The gameplay giveaway is still going on until May 1st, guys, so if you haven't entered yet and would like to, all you have to do is join my Discord linked in the description below and react to the giveaway in the giveaway channel. We'll be back to gameplay and first look videos after this, but I do have plans for a montage video of sick plays, shots, and clutches eventually as well. Thank you guys so much again for all the love and support. It means so much, and I hope to keep you all entertained with Zuba content for many days to come. Finally, happy hunting. Uh-oh, something went wrong, guys. Uh-oh. Please try again. Uh-oh, something went wrong. We don't know what it was, but it did.